Hi, this is an extract from the Birmingham District Worship held on a Sunday since the lockdown, and this extract talks about the realities of the strife that people are experiencing outside church walls with COVID-19. It reflects on Psalm 116. Thank you.
I was so pleased in the beginning of this service in the prayers that Ruda used. She used the word precious. And in this part of the psalm, the psalmist used the word precious too. Of course, there are other beautiful variations of this psalm, and Jim Cotter is one of them, but he misses the word precious. So thank you, Ruda, for mysteriously through the Spirit using the word precious in your prayers. My life as a Methodist minister, as part of the district team, is outside church walls, normally. Now, of course, we're all outside church walls, and we'd very much like to be within them as well. But sometimes in my world outside church walls, I find in church meetings and church services, we do not speak about the reality of what is outside our church walls. With any time or clarity. Church buildings or the boiler or the roof or the car parking takes precedence so often. And at this moment in time, we are all surrounded by death. In the psalm, the psalmists speak of precious death. Spurgeon, when I've read this week, as many of us are prepared for today, Spurgeon strongly suggests that Jesus was reflecting on this part of the psalm when he said, "Take this cup from me." And of course, all of us want this cup to be taken away. It's painful and it hurts. All deaths are precious, so therefore, all lives are precious. I meet Muslims and Hindus, Sikhs, people of no faith, rabbis, Methodist, Anglicans, Catholics, people who have lost their faith, people who desperately want to find a faith. But sometimes in these days, some of our faith partners have been blamed. Some of our ethnicity groups have been blamed. And what is our response as church? What are we doing to push back some of that unrest and almost hateful anger that people are irrationally throwing at different groups in different parts of the society, in different parts of Birmingham, even in the district? You know, from some of our leafy lanes in Solihull, life is totally different to that in Lozells or Spark Hill, where people have to live crowded together, and yet they're blamed for having to live crowded together. And because I know them, because that's the places you've sent me often, it makes me really angry and upset. Around our wider district, we have 150 churches, 150 groups of people that can be ambassadors for change and goodwill and love of everybody absolutely equally. And so over these last few weeks, I've been many webinars with the West Midlands Combined Authority, Regional Mayor Andy Street. I'm there in a non-partisan way, of course. But I'm rattling the sabre, I'm rattling the tambourine, I'm rattling the debate. And let's speak more about the hurts, and let's speak about where people are hurting the most. But above all, let's push back on all of the hatred, all of the fake news, all of the negativity around people that have to live in high-rise flats or have to live in Lozells and Spark Hill. Because they have to financially, because there isn't that equity. So with Andy Street and other people around that table, leading Sikhs and Jewish representatives, we try to do our best, but it takes us, all of us that might be listening to this day, all of us have a role to say, we know the realities of death. It's hurtful and it's painful, but all death is precious. But all lives are precious too. And what can we do as people called Methodists to encourage people to realise that their life is as precious as our lives, and use our civic corridors and our civic pathways to make that change. Our key workers are hurting, and hospitals are being prepared everywhere. I want, and I'm sure all of us want, equal access in all of those places if the time comes that we know we are precious to God and precious to each other. Just a moment of silence. Let us sing together. The Lord's my shepherd.